Hi, it's me, Pam. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, I should be further along by now? Maybe you've made mistakes, experienced setbacks, or watched doors close that you desperately wanted God to open. Maybe you're carrying disappointment, wondering if you've missed your chance or if God has moved on to someone else. If that's where you are, I want to encourage you with a simple truth. God is not done with you. One of my favorite verses is in Philippians, where Paul tells us to be confident that he who began a good work in us will carry it on to completion. That means the story isn't over. Throughout Scripture, we see people whose lives looked unfinished. They were broken or delayed. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before God called him to lead Israel. Joseph endured betrayal and prison before stepping into God's purpose. Peter denied Jesus 3 times, yet Jesus restored him and used him to help build the early church. Their setbacks were not the end of their story, and neither are yours. Sometimes we confuse a season of waiting with a season of rejection. We think because God is silent, he's absent. But God often does his deepest work behind the scenes. Even when we can't see it, God is working. He's shaping our character. He's strengthening our faith and preparing us for what comes next. Maybe you've stumbled spiritually. Maybe you've drifted from God. Maybe you're discouraged because you're not where you hoped you'd be. Don't let today's circumstances convince you that God has finished writing your story. As long as you have breath, God has purpose for your life. Your calling may not look exactly like you imagined. The timeline may be different than you expected, but God's plans are still good. So here's the application for today. Stop focusing on how far you still have to go and start thanking God for how far He's already brought you. Take the next faithful step. Spend time in prayer. Open His Word. Trust Him with the process because the same God who started the work is still working. He's not done with you. Until next time, bye.